Hello, my name is Washboardjim. I'm the founder and the strategist behind the Sneaky Snake trading strategy, and I want to give you an idea that you might want to cook on for a little bit that might just make you a little bit better trader. I've been talking about this strategy for about 3 years straight, and I just want to bring up this one little pattern that I trade almost every single day, and we're going to pull her up right now. This is called the SPY. We trade the SPY, you can trade the SPX. Basically, this is what I see this pattern on. It's called the Sneaky Snake Break-Out Pull-Back and Boom. So I'm going to take this all apart, erase it, but we got a snake with an inverse head and shoulders up to the 200 SMA, consolidated off my moving averages, which was the 63 and the 100 EMA, and bounced on up and respected the 50 all the way up. The moving averages that I use, get your pencil and paper out. We'll start off with the EMAs. We got the 9 EMA, and you can choose any color you like. I got my 9 is the ultra blue down here at the bottom, kind of fluorescent blue. That's the 9. Then we got the 21 EMA, which is the white line. That's the 21. And then we've got the 63 EMA, which is the red line. And we got the 100 EMA, which is the pink line, dotted line. And we got the 200 EMA, which is the dotted yellow line. And then I have 2 SMAs on here, and that'll be the 50 SMA and also the 200 SMA. It's called a golden cross when the 50 crosses the 200. That's just something to keep an eye on. And when the 9 crosses the 21, that is also another indicator for a breakout. Usually watching the 9, and once it breaks the 9, it starts to respect the 9, and then you run up. So what we got is the snake, which is a knife, into an inverse head and shoulders. You got the pullback, and then you got the boom. So let's erase this all up, and I'll draw it out for you. Now, what I'm trying to tell you, when you break out of this snake, which is the knife, you want to develop some kind of pattern that's outside of that channel, or even inside it. It could be a fallen wedge, it could be an ascending triangle, it could be a triple top, and everything's in threes. Sometimes this inverse head and shoulders might come back and touch that right shoulder the second time, but that's really the best time to trade it. But when you're a bull like I am, you want to try to take every advantage you can. Start in small. If it starts to break out, you can always add on, or if it dips on you, you can add on the dip. As long as it holds that shoulder line of that inverse head and shoulders. Left shoulder, right shoulder, and head. So let's erase all this. We'll clear it up, and I'll draw it out for you. There's a pattern thing I'm going to show you here. I should probably already had it up. Give me 1 second, and we'll find it. There it is. You can copy and paste this right here. Each one of these patterns will give you some kind of clue on what you're looking at once you break out of that knife. And you don't want to jump in it right then. Let that pattern develop once it breaks out of that knife. So we've got a continuation patterns to the downside, continuation patterns to the upside. You're coming in this snake, your knife, and it's going to form some kind of pattern. So that's continuation to the upside. We have on the continuation to the downside, we have a descending triangle. Sometimes them descending triangles will even pop up. We have a bearish flag. We have a bearish wedge, rising wedge, and we have a symmetrical flag. Continuation patterns, say you're coming down and it starts to break out. We have the ascending triangle, the bullish flag, the bullish wedge, and also the symmetrical triangle. And then reversals back to the downside, like if you come out and it breaks out of that snake and forms a head and shoulders, it might come back down to a double bottom, or it might just continue on down. We have a rising wedge. That's another one that you got to pay attention to. If it goes too long sometimes in it, it's going to pull back on you. We got the double top and the triple top. Reversals to the upside, we have the inverted head and shoulders, which we're going to talk about today. The falling wedge, which I really love taking the trade off of. The double bottom and the triple bottom. These are probably some of the best ones to take right here. Also on a continuation run. But coming out of the snake, that inverse head and shoulders, boom. So you copy and paste that if you want. You can always go back and pause this and copy and paste that and save it. Or just type in Google continuation, reversal, bullish and bearish chart patterns. So basically we've got the snake coming down like this. So we want to go up to our tool department. Go to your channel. Take that body. Don't use the wicks. Take the body. Run it to that next body. Just like that. And build that channel. Now if you can count up to 3, you can trade with me. This is called a sweet spot. If you ever played baseball, you know where the sweet spot is on the bat. Well, the same thing with this knife. The third time is the sweet spot. You got a triple top and a triple bottom right here. Once it breaks out of the pattern, wait for that pullback and see what kind of pattern you develop out of that snake. Could be the fallen wedge. In this case, it's an inverse head and shoulders. So we're going to go ahead and put that on here. There's your left shoulder and there's your right shoulder. We'll make this a little bit brighter. Got translucent blue right there to recognize your left shoulder, your right shoulder, and your head. So she starts to break out. That's where you take your trade. You've developed your pattern, and also you have kind of like a little fallen wedge right here too. But you got the head and shoulders. So that thing breaks out, and then your 9 crosses the 21 and respects that 21 all the way up. You have like a triple bottom right here coming up with that right shoulder. Keeps you still bullish in the trade. Then you run up to the 200 SMA and you got a double top and you're out of the trade. She consolidates, pulls back and hits the 100. You got a nice little doji setup right here. That's a buy signal. That's called a long leg doji. So you long leg doji off the 100 and the 63 EMA. You got a tweezer bottom off the wicks, but I count the tweezer bottom off the bodies. So you have a tweezer bottom with long leg doji, which is a very bullish signal. Jump in the trade, sell it after the 3 white soldiers. Once you get out of the 3 white soldiers, you got 3 black crows again, setting up for another trade. Boom, up to the upside. Every chart tells a story. By the end of the day, the SPX went from $380 all the way up to $2,600. Maybe a little bit more than that. That's when I stopped counting. Then we had a little sell-off at the end of the day. But you gotta know your patterns. You gotta know your moving averages. And you got to be in the now. I'm very bullish, more bullish than I've been in the 22 years that I've been trading. So I've been very bullish. And these dips are a gift. And if you got the right setup, you can really make some good money. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. We got the snake, inverse head and shoulders, pullback, breakout. And that 200 SMA, You can use that in any time frame, and I use it as a pivot point, a support level, and a resistance level. Even when I'm day trading in the day, if 200 comes up, I'm going to be getting ready to take the trade, especially on a pullback. Or if it runs up and hits resistance, I want to be able to take that trade. So that's it. That's the Sneaky Snake trading strategy, where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. Hit that like button, subscribe, ring that bell, and get my future updates. Have a great day.